I've got a bit of a hack job of a program here. I want to talk about else statements. So we've talked about if statements, and then we've talked about else if statements. Now I just want to talk about else statements. So in this demonstration, I just want a number from the user. So they're going to type a number and they're going to press enter. Okay? However, I have a favorite number. And my favorite number is, I'll say 67. So this is my number, and I want a variable to hold the user's number, the number that the user is going to give me. And obviously I don't know what the user is going to give me because I can find it in this text box. So this is txb_num. So when they press enter, I can fetch their number. It is an integer, so I have to parse. And what am I parsing? Well, I'm parsing the text that's inside the text box, just like that. So this gets me the user number. All right, let's build an if statement. So if the number that they've just given to me is equal to the favorite number that I have stored, I can do something. And what do I want to do? Well, I've got this label here. So maybe I'll just change the text of that label. So I'll go label output.text. That is my favorite number. Easy enough, nothing new. Maybe I have another favorite number. Maybe one of my favorite numbers is also 6. So I want to create a situation where that might happen. So I could say else if the number that they've given me, maybe it's equal to my other favorite number. And if that's the case, I'll say that is also one of my favorite numbers. Now for the new part, the else statement. So I've just created an else statement, and you'll notice an else statement has no condition. These are conditions. These are what we're checking. So if this is true, do this. If this is true, do this. If neither of these are true, then do this. That's what the else statement means. It means if none of the other conditions are met, we will do the else statement. So it doesn't need a condition because it's like the default. So either this will happen, or this will happen. It's 1, 2, or 3. So if they don't enter in one of my favorite numbers, I have this default case. I have this fail-safe case where I'll just say, that is not my favorite number. So as soon as you pair an else statement with some if condition logic, one of these will always happen. 1, 2, or 3. It will always happen. This is just your default case. So if I enter 67, that's a favorite number. So the first if statement, that was true. However, if I enter my other favorite number, which was 6, then that second condition hits. That is also one of my favorite numbers. If I don't enter 67 and I don't enter 6, if I enter any number I can think of, that's an integer overflow. We don't need to talk about that. Let's not go that big. If I enter any number and press enter, the else statement hits. So it doesn't matter what number they give me. I don't have to make an if statement for every number in the world. I just have this fallback. I have this default case where if it's not 6 and it's not 67, this will happen. So it can make your programming life a lot easier because the else statement doesn't need a condition, so you don't need to think of a condition. And it lets something happen regardless. So even if conditions are not met, this will still happen. So that user is still getting feedback, which is very important. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I feel I over-explain. This may have been one of those videos. All right, there you go. There's else statements.